They been cramping my style all week. Craving chocolate trees, checking pants, checking seeds, sipping herbal tea, and fight for menstrual equity. Sheesh. Hey, I kick cramps ass. 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 You're now tuned in to the Kick Cramps Ass podcast with your host, Brittany Walker, advocating for menstrual equity, period poverty, and womb wellness. New episodes on Menstruation Mondays.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kick Cramps Ass podcast, where I am your host, Brittany Walker. You've made it to Monday, June 10th, 2024, where we're having season 2, episode 14, talking about holistically healing fibroids. We have a special guest that we're going to be bringing on in just a moment, Miss Phyllis Fimprong from the Fibroid Queen. So we're going to bring her on in just a moment. You know, it is June, so June is Pride Month. June 19th next week, or a week and a half, we have Juneteenth celebrating our ancestors. We're always talking about African ancient history, African holistic approaches, nutritionists, herbalism. So you know we are all about honoring our ancestors. And with having today's guest, July is Fibroid Awareness Month, so we're going to be talking about options for that as well. Now, you know we like to kick off each episode with the I Am Power statement. I representing inspiration, A representing affirmations, and M representing manifestation. And the I Am Power statement for today is, I am acquiring alternatives to holistically healing fibroids and other uterine ailments in an effort to achieve optimum womb wellness. Ashe. So there it is. You know, we also like to do a quote of the day. So the quote for today is, fibroids are not roadblocks to a fulfilling life. They're detours that invite individuals to explore alternative paths of well-being, resilience, and self-love. And that's by Lisa Olson. Now, you know, we always have a tea of the day, guys. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick sip, and we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Have you tried our bestseller, the Cramp Elixir? It's our herbal tea blend designed to reduce and eliminate menstrual cramps, PMS symptoms, and other uterine health issues that are hindering your day-to-day progress. Our elixir may decrease inflammation, reduce stress and anxiety, regulate blood flow, balance your mood, and it can kick cramps ass. It includes a variety of herbs including hibiscus, red raspberry leaf, calendula, motherwort, ashwagandha, plus more. Head over to kickcrampsass.org and grab yours today. Now, back to the show. All right, guys, welcome back from that commercial. We hope that you enjoyed it. We're so excited about today's guest, Holistically Healing Fibroids with Phyllis Fimprong, also known as the Fibroid Queen. Now, she is a womb wellness coach and a registered nurse. She has a unique passion of coaching women to say goodbye to uterine fibroid problems and goodbye to the pain and bloating in just 30 days. Did you guys hear that? That's just 1 month. But here's the best part. She does it in a whole new, unique, holistic way that sets you on a path to total healing. So say hello to a pain-free future and welcome to crafting your destiny by activating the untapped potential within your womb. Everybody, please welcome Phyllis Fimprong, aka the Fibroid Queen. Hey, Phyllis.
Hey, beautiful. Thank you so much for inviting me on. I'm so glad to be here. Hey, everyone.
Yay, we're so excited to have you on. One thing that I was so excited about is there are a lot of holistic practitioners, right? But people can be difficult, and they're like, hey, if it's not coming from a physician, if it's not coming from a nurse, if it's not coming from a nutritionist. So with me being a licensed nutritionist and practicing holistic health, I have a little more leeway. But with you being a registered nurse, and you're like, look, holistic health is the way to go. We absolutely love that. So may you please tell us more about your brand, the Fibroid Queen?
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. That's such a powerful question. So as far as Fibroid Queen, it's beyond just a fibroid thing. Fibroids is a symbol, at least for me, that got my attention, that my life was not in alignment. I was literally just in shambles and not really aware of how I was operating and how I was not living to my truest self. So once I was diagnosed and found out that, I was carrying fibroids on my uterus, that was a real wake up call. And you listening, your wake up call could be depression, losing a loved one, cancer, autoimmune issues. But for me, it was fibroids. So learning how my body house these, I call them garbage dumps, right? House these encapsulated masses on my uterus was, for me, just a reflection of the outside world that I perceived, as well as my mindset. So I really regard myself as a thought leader in this womb space to really help women know that it's the mindset. Once you connect your mindset to your womb, you can move towards alignment spiritually, as it's not just a fibroid thing, it's a mind, body, spirit thing. So Fibroid Queen is my reminder, like, Phyllis, keep treating yourself like a queen, because if you don't, no one else will. And there you go, Brittany, when I always fix my crown, that's my reminder, self-care every moment of the day, you know, fill up my cup, fuel my mind, tap into my creativity, really doing things as a practice that keep me whole. And that's what Unique Holistic Program is, and I'll get into more of that later, of resources we provide for women. But Fibroid Queen represents reign supreme, treating yourself beyond measure, giving yourself that respect, having a very, very just divine connection with your inner self, where you're living your life to your best ability, the best version of yourself, moving to your higher self. So Fibroid Queen is that reminder, because it could have been something else, right? But it was fibroids that woke me up to this passion and just this path of not only empowering myself to live, to my highest self, but also others as well. So that's what Fibroid Queen represents.
We absolutely love it. First of all, you dropped so many gems. The thing that stood out to me the most, and it's something that we talked about on our podcast with our clients, is mindset shifting. Mindset shifting is so important, because a lot of people believe that I can't do this, or oh,
Yeah.
they said this is a forever disease, so let me just deal with it. It's, you have to learn how to really shift your mind and just research and learn for yourself as well. We love everything that you're doing about Fibroid Queen. We absolutely adore it and totally support it. Now, what influenced you to advocate for womb wellness, especially with fibroid prevention and elimination? You mentioned about being diagnosed, but what made you shift to want to advocate for that?
Yeah, that's such a powerful question. So it's kind of a multitude of reasons, and one being just feeling compelled, something deep inside of me kind of moved me here. If you were to ask me 20 years or 10 years ago, Phyllis, what do you want to do with your life in the next 10 years? I would not say, being a thought leader or being a coach, that wouldn't have came out of my mouth. But going through this experience myself, first being diagnosed and not knowing where to turn, dealing with this alone, literally in suffering, and then realizing how many other women are dealing with this, and then the culture, I am Ghanaian, so, speaking to my parents about this, and their response about, oh, shh, don't tell anyone, just go do this surgery and, hope that everything works out. And it's like, wow. So the response I was getting, the feelings of not being enough, doctor telling me, in response to me asking, why did I end up with fibroids? I do this, I do that. And it's like, oh, Phyllis, it's just part of being a woman. You're a Black woman. It just runs high. And, just this energy of lack and feeling powerless. I was like, I don't want any woman to go through this. I don't want any woman to go through this. So after realizing my situation and coming out of a pretty much a state of depression after being told that the fibroids grew 3 times the size, largest being 9 centimeters, almost 9 centimeters, I was at my lowest point. And I started to really question, even being physically here on earth, like, what am I here for? And within a couple days of that, things started to come into me. I call them downloads, intuition, where I started to listen to motivation, thought leaders that have been able to heal themselves. I don't know if I was overhearing or ear hustling a commercial or someone listening to a gentleman named Joe Dispenza. And I started to listen, and then Queen Afua and just other thought leaders that really, just look at these people that have been able to heal themselves without surgery or drugs. And I thought, well, if they can do it, I can possibly do it too. And I literally started to get more self-aware and started to really think about how I operated, because I was a personal trainer. I did the healthy things, taught people how to live healthy. I was a bodybuilder, I had the rock hard abs, physically fit, right? Working out hard, intense. I ate healthy, right? I was a nurse, medically doing the right thing. I did everything right, and still at a loss. Is it really a loss or a lesson learned? That was a lesson that I have to treat myself. I have to look at myself beyond what has been the norm, what's been the socialized way of looking at ourselves. I had to really think above and know that my body, who I am, is very unique, right? I'm very unique, that a lot of these things that we have here, from status quo surgeries, status quo diet plans, workouts, are not enough. They're not at my level. And when I started to look at myself as a higher being, it really allowed me to move in this energy of self-love, and really filling up my cup, where these ideas started to come. I literally turned my home into a lab, and I was like, you know what? Can't be a typical diet plan. Let me add some of this. I've researched that this can help my melanin. Let me add some of this to help my immune system. And then, Brittany, I really literally started to just like become my own lab rat and try these things out. And how much motivation and creativity just started to fuel me. And, what came out of that was not only me getting rid of the heavy flow, the pain, because all through this I was experiencing a lot of pain and just, heavy flow, going like a faucet, chewing ice, chronically fatigued. I started to feel better. I'm like, wow, I'm feeling better. I want to get, become a yoga instructor. I want to get more into this holistic lifestyle. And then I continued and moved down a road of not only getting rid of the symptoms, but the fibroids themselves, shrinking and eliminating them. And I know we'll go into that, but I really want to just kind of stop here to say, what got me into this is really a snowball of things, but I really feel that me connecting to my inner self and realizing who I am and where I come from, and really connecting to that and appreciating that, I woke up to life. Like, this is life. Like, this is the life, I need to live in order to really just set the pace, leave that footprint, generations to come, like, just transformative, innovative. Like, those words just come to mind on why I chose to go down this path, and kind of how I got here. So I hope that answers your question.
It it beyond answered the question. First of all, as you're talking, I just felt like this glow inside of me just building. I'm like, you were speaking so much power. First of all, Queen Afua, you guys already know how I feel about her. That is like auntie, like that's elder. Like she is the reason why holistic health came into play for us. But even you mentioning about activating your melanin, like we talk about that vitamin D with that neuromelanin, like how it's important it is to activate that because it helps us tap into our own power, our creativity, and our pineal gland. But you also mentioned about knowing the power within yourself, realizing like you are that goddess, you are that queen, like you have the power to do anything you want to do. You got to remove invaluable distractions and things that are
Yeah.
keeping you sadly low vibrational in a 3D
Mhm.
world, like succumb to mediocrity and basic way of living. And it sounds bad when it said like that, but I'm just a very honest person. So I love that you mentioned about once I knew about that power within, it took me to here. And this is going to help us segue into our next question. I always talk about turn your house into a lab, be your own case study. You'll test out different makeup, you'll test out different fingernail polish, you'll test out getting different things potentially done to your body. You'll try new medications without anybody telling you what the side effects are. So, what's wrong with taking 30 days to devote into investing into your own health? Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So, I love that you mentioned about making the lab, coming up with your own things. So let's talk about what products and services do you offer through Fibroid Queen?
Yes, phenomenal question. So, we offer a resource that is very dynamic and it's within the unique holistic program. So, you think of holistic, and that can be very subjective. That can be sometimes an abused word because some may think going to the gym and being on a vegan diet is holistic. But we've stamped it with a unique holistic program. So we consider every woman to be unique and they need to be treated as so. So, the status quo is kind of the same standard way of doing things that may not get to the root of the problem. So here, on this end, it's not just holistic, but a unique holistic way where you're a part of a team, right? You are literally becoming a part of a whole team that's looking out for you. So it's not just me back here. When a woman gets enrolled in this program, she is unapologetic about investing in herself. She is ready to hire a unique holistic team that's going to look out for her, provide her with all the resources to help her move towards wholeness and her higher self. So that may look like, just we have a doctor who will do personalized lab work. So non-traditional lab work to really help women understand the connection between what's in their blood and why the fibroids are growing. And it's a very unique connection that we're not getting enough education on. Number two, the trauma and our femininity sometimes is unaddressed, and we have a coach who specializes in that, where she's going to help women really uproot the old emotions to help them move towards healing. And then a master herbalist, herbs can be looked at as medication in your body, especially if you're not taking the right ones. And how your blood type is, making sure you're taking the right herbs so you're not having regression. So our master herbalist is going to help you identify what proper herbs you need to be on. And then myself, keeping you accountable as your coach, giving you unique workouts that are literally curated to help your womb get stronger and move towards pumping your lymphatic system to get rid of some of that garbage off your uterus, i.e. fibroids. So womb wellness workouts. These are workouts that are housed in the Unique Holistic program. They are trademark workouts really made to help women strengthen their womb, as well as, working with the system, Brittany, because you talked about earlier about just your business and your system and how you work different things. That's how the body works. We can't really just hodgepodge things together and work haphazardly thinking that it's just going to work. You do castor oil packs because you feel like it, or you're thinking, right, let me go ahead and get on a vegan diet, because that's what this woman said, who's trying to eliminate fibroids as well naturally. But that may not work for you. So we need a system, because the body, our cells, the smallest part of us, work as a system. And fibroids are fake cells. In order to stop them from replicating like, you know, 3-year-olds running in a park, crazy, we have to do
Right.
more than the status quo, right? And that's what is not being emphasized enough, because, you know, research, doctors may not have this understanding that it's a healing matter when you're dealing with cells that are not forming correctly. And that's what has to do with fibroids. So it really takes a unique holistic approach. So we as a team, right, working as a system, like having accountability, having community, other women that are not only know how to really invest in their lifestyle, but you're working with them hand and side by side to move to a higher, point. And you have these women to reference, you know what, they're improving their health. They're in this program as well. You're buddied with them. The motivation just goes up and up. So it's a team of holistic practitioners who and uniquely give you a plan that's personalized to you to get to the root of fibroids and help you move towards your higher self. So that's what we offer for women here in order to eliminate fibroid problems. I am the poster child of this formula. As like I said, my home turned into a lab as I was able to do this on myself, and then I was able to get huge results personalizing it to other women. And here we are 6-7 years later with Fibroid Queen.
Absolutely love everything that you're doing. And guys, before the episode, we're going to definitely get her information and put it in the description of the bio. But we have a resource center with wellness referrals. So we already have her on our website. So you could definitely check that out as well. We'll link that in the description of this episode. So we love you heard that, guys, personalized plans. And sometimes you need that. Like she said, even if you say, hey, I heard somebody was vegan, I'm going to do that. And I even had to learn the hard way. There's a difference between vegan and plant-based, because you can still eat all the things you were eating that has all the chemicals and toxins, the fried food, the bleached foods, fatty foods, things of that sort, and still be vegan. So you still have to be mindful of what you're putting into your body. So we love that. Now, why did you choose womb healing through alternative and holistic techniques, especially as a traditionally trained registered nurse?
Absolutely, Brittany. I chose going this direction as far as alternative medicine, um, going holistic, and really just quantum physics and epigenetics is really kind of the order that it went down. And here I am now using these already proven systems as a reflection of the unique holistic approach, because I get this question a lot. What is this based on? And it's research that's already out there. I am a nerd, and science was my most favorite subject.
Yep,
Science
same.
is my most science is my most favorite subject, and this study and being able to be practical with this information and my experience, I've been able to gather and see, even with working with thousands of women in this space, how miraculous the body is and how true it is to how what we think, how we eat, and how we move is going to be a reflection of how our cells work. Our cells, cells. And fibroids are fake cells. So I thought, what an empowerment to know that if I continue to do things that help my cell body work more efficiently, help me produce healthier cells, help my cells function better. If I can just think of the smallest part of me as the importance, the root of the problem, then I can't go wrong. Quantum physics, epigenetics represent that. So what led me down this path is I love to learn. I'm a personal development junkie, but I would say for the most part, when I started to read about these other thought leaders about how they heal themselves, I actually went down this rabbit hole and just really started to study just how our cells kind of work in our body, and really became obsessed with quantum physics and paradigm shifts, things that have to do with the cellular level of things and the paradigm shift, the identity shift, how all of that comes together. It really started to interest me. So once I've been able to use that knowledge after years and years of just studying it, along with my medical expertise of what doesn't work, right? I recall working on the nursing floor, dealing with women who had surgeries, fibroid removal surgeries, myomectomies, and will be back in the hospital because their blood levels were low. And it was just another reflection that the fibroids grew back. Their symptoms have, just reintroduced themselves yet again. And I'm like, wow. And then I used to work in rehab centers with the elderly, and it was just, I felt like a pain pusher. I mean, a pill pusher. I would just be prescribing to what the doctor, said for them to take. And most of the time, they're unaware of what's going on with them and taking all these drugs and still feeling, not themselves. I felt like I was just inadequate as a nurse. I couldn't help them. And all I was doing, it was giving them meds. And that really started to make me sick. And that's really how the fibroids really grew the most, when I was working as a nurse in the medical field, in the hospital. And the energy of just being in a hospital with sick people and being very empathic, not really noting what was going on in my environment, my perceived environment, and not taking a break and things like that, just really fueled my thoughts on what doesn't work, what's not working to make us well. And then coupling that with everything that I've done that was healthy, being a trainer, working out, doing traditional workouts, traditional meal plans, how those things didn't work. So I was able to be in this dynamic position of having this medical experience, but also having lifestyle experience. And then the years of interest in, the study of quantum physics and in different things that involve modern science, putting that all in a blender is what kind of led me down this path of just feeling all around intellectually stimulated. And that's what I love about this position, because I never stop learning. I'm a lifelong student. I learn from my the clients I've been able to help. I learn from all the women around in Five Weight Queen, and it's just so amazing. So being this lifelong student, but at the same time helping others see the light, and understand how miraculous their body is, it keeps it fun. So that's why I'm still here, and that's kind of what led me down to do more holistic health, but also putting a stamp on it to really devise what that looks like in the space of womb wellness. And it has to be a unique approach and not just a holistic approach, but what type of, really letting people know what type of system this is that sets it apart from any general holistic way of looking at things. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. It definitely does. People don't realize, you said something, this could be the science nerd in me, but people don't realize that the body is a well oiled machine. Just like a car, if you're not getting the oil change, if you're not putting gas in it, if you're not rotating them tires, getting alignments done, you have to tend to your car, and you have to do the same thing with your body. If you're not taking care of it, your body is going to let you know, like you said, through that cellular work, whether it's fibroids, whether it's endometriosis, whether it's even something more
Yeah.
chronic like diabetes, cancer, your cells in your body is going to let you know. But as long as you're putting the right nutrients in the right macronutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, herbs, things of that sort, then the cells can restore themselves. They can maintain themselves. They can switch themselves out after so long. Even in the body, people don't realize, even with the circulatory system, if you're putting the right nutrients in your body and you're exercising and you're excreting toxins and things of that sort, in 120 days, you can have a whole new blood flow system in your body. And a lot of people don't know these things. And it's like, I don't remember that was biology and anatomy and that back in high school or college, but it's information that's vital that really has to do with our life longevity. So we love everything that you said. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, guys, and we'll be right back. Welcome to KidCrampsAs.org. Now, feel free to subscribe and get 15% off. By doing so, you're subscribing to our newsletter and you'll receive the latest news, resources, and updates. We appreciate you for connecting with us, so we want to get you with 15% off on your first order. So go ahead and leave your first name, your last name, and your email address, and you'll have this 50% off coupon that you can use towards your first order. Now, back to the show. Welcome back. So, Phyllis, as we're approaching Fibroid Awareness Month in July, our organization focuses on menstrual equity, but we want to definitely try to bring more awareness to fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, infertility, things of that sort. So with us approaching, like we said, we know that you do fibroid awareness every day, 365, every single day, 24/7. However, with people that are just learning about fibroids or might pay more attention to the month of July, are there some recommendations for individuals who are considering holistic healing but do not know where they should start?
Absolutely. And when it comes to awareness and where to start, understanding that for masses, fibroids, fake cells to grow on your uterus, it's a bigger problem. That's number one, right? And knowing what you want, it does reflect into your self-worth. Like, how do you feel about yourself, right? Where your life is at. And just having that awareness about what's going on in your perceived environment, okay? Then once that's established, you can move into what your goal is. You want a long-term solution or a short-term solution. And whatever your direction is, finding the community. I'm not going to say the doctor, I'm not going to say this or that. At this point of our lives and where we're at in this world, it's community that's really going to be the most valuable approach to anything you want to do. Those that have been through it and that have been successful at what you're looking to do, or those that are doing it. Very important to get amongst these people to get to the next level. And it's okay, go to get an ultrasound to ensure that there are growths, right? Go to the doctor, get an ultrasound, but you are looking for a long-term solution. You don't want to go through surgery knowing that you may live in fear because fibroids will grow back again because, again, the root hasn't been established. You can have this understanding that it takes healing to eliminate fibroids, and a treatment is just a temporary fix. So being able to recognize where your life is at, your self-worth, and what you want to do, and then starting to move in that direction can be very, very useful in finding some ways to address this. As this unique holistic approach here at Fibroid Queen is not an option, it's a foundation. So we have helped women who chose to go down the surgery route because by the time they got to us, the fibroids are so large. So they want to do, get the quick fix, but also be a part of the program for long-term prevention. And these women are doing very well. And then we have women who may not have fibroids that are in our program, but they want to prevent it because it runs high in their family, or They just want to have more hormonal harmony. And that's what I really want to shed light on, is the women that don't have fibroids. Because we are waiting, being reactive versus proactive when it comes to fibroids. And we don't want to wait till it grows, till we do something about it. There are communications, there are signs, there is, communities like Kick Cramps Ass, right, that are valuable to help you understand the prerequisites before there is actually a physical development of fibroids. So your periods are off, right? You're chewing ice, you're craving chocolate, it's hard for you to lose weight. So these are often sometimes late signs, or it could be early signs for you that something's going wrong. And if it keeps going on, yes, it can be a fibroid situation. But the medical system, what I've seen, what I've witnessed is the lack of prevention, lack of preventative strategies to prevent women from going down this road of fibroids. Not only that, losing their uterus. So I want to shed light to women who don't have fibroids to really wake up to this, to say, yeah, I don't have fibroids, I don't have to worry about it. Yes, you do, because you have inconsistent periods. You have pain with your periods. That's not normal, right? And up to 40% of women are walking around with fibroids on their uterus and don't even know it until they're ready to have a baby, until they're admitted to the hospital, until it's, way beyond the situation, or they've been told to watch and wait because it's very light. And, we have medical practitioners out here making light of the situation. So what I want to say as we move into Fibroid Awareness Month is all women need to wake up to this. And I feel like my platform, I intentionally make it for all women, even men, to kind of get interest in it, make the content different, make it, innovative, make it, appealing, a little sexy, so that we're getting more eyes on this. It's not just women with fibroids, but women who don't have it, men that care for their women, right? To really understand what we're dealing with, to keep our race cultivated. Yeah.
Yes. I love that. Three main things I want to touch on: educating men. This could be your wife, your daughter. What happened if you have employees, so you can better understand your employees, your mama, your sister, your girlfriend, maybe your roommate, your best friend might be identify as a woman. So with that being said, I think it's so important for men to have a clear understanding of these things. Because I love seeing like content where you see the man going to like go get the pads, getting the tea together, getting the heating pad together, like, okay, I already know this is coming. So I love that. Another thing you said was prevention. Most people wait till it's too late. One thing that I take pride in is I'm the first woman in my family to not have a fibroid. And it wasn't something that I was maliciously focusing on fibroids. I just knew that this can't be the generational curse. We're not supposed to be cramping this long. I'm not supposed to have periods for 14 days. I'm not supposed to be bleeding heavy like crazy and going through all these tampons and pads in a day or whatever your product of choice is. But really prevention, guys. Like if you already know that your family has these issues, if you know that it's a common thing amongst our culture, our race, our ethnicity, why not get a handle on it beforehand, like you said, so you don't have to fall into that statistic, that you don't have to go through that pain and suffering if you could just prevent it. So I love that you said that. The third thing, which is going to segue into our next question: hysterectomies are thrown out so frequently. Like, oh yeah, you have fibroids, just get a hysterectomy. You're bleeding heavy, just get a hysterectomy. It's going to be okay. And although you can survive without your uterus, it's still a vital organ for the woman's body. Once you remove that, hormone levels change, your body operates differently. Those are things they don't tell you. It's like, oh, you want that quick fix? We're going to give you that quick fix. And then you could just keep coming to us for us to keep kind of patching you up along the way versus avoiding having to remove your uterus. So with that being said, are there any common myths, such as getting a hysterectomy, that you advocate to destigmatize in relation to wound wellness or fibroids?
Absolutely. You just really shed light on something very vital when it comes to the uterus. That's just one big one, right? And then another one I'll go into is the whole the whole diet thing. So when it comes to a hysterectomy, often could be masked as care, but really control, right?
Mm,
As in the world where, right, Brittany, in the
girl,
world
speaking my languages, yes, all day.
in the world where the medical system yet still has this unsettling narrative that robs the lives of many women, narrated by their reproductive organs, right? And the uterus, has been a symbol for ages, is just like a baby house, and it's been twisted to serve as, oh, you're not having any more kids, just get rid of it, but you were born with it. And now emergent science to really showcase how the uterus is connected to the brain, right? And really what it does beyond just being a baby house. So with the staggering statistic with the painful era about this hysterectomy and how it hasn't really changed from where we were 30 years ago. There is a hysterectomy performed every minute in the US. 90% of them are deemed unnecessary. 90% of them. And the majority of women that are resorting to the statistic look like you and I, Brittany. So it's really just a painful era. And it's like, this question arises, have we really evolved? Even with the upgrade of medical technology and, education and knowledge, have we really evolved? Or are we stuck in this loop of modern day, just genocide of our wombs, of the black woman, the melanated woman, African American, and this historical reoccurrence that it's still happening. So just really understanding, women, ladies, queens, that our womb is very valuable, right? To why there's such a need to remove it, specifically in melanated women, and how it's deeply connected. It's a connected organ that is more than just a baby house, but it's connected to other parts of us that really deal with our identity. And we're losing that because, again, what sets us apart from a man is our uterus. That's one of the major things. Now, there's also another, stigma that really revolves around, there's quite a bit, but I will go into more of the diet. And that has been kind of the emphasis for most people. Oh, my diet this. Well, there are women that eat horribly. They don't work out, but they don't have fibroids, right? So we have to understand it's more than just a diet. And just think about the word diet. It has die in it, D-I-E. It's already set up for failure. So we really need to change our language to a higher vibrational state and really look into a lifestyle, a nutritional lifestyle, conscious eating, eating for our melanin, right? Considering our ethnicity, fueling our mind. And once we start thinking on that level, it's going to help in other areas of us when it comes to, the emotional health, the mental health, the physical health, and really digging deeper to really getting to that root. So that's kind of the two stigmas I really wanted to touch on when it comes to just getting rid of your uterus and thinking everything is going to be, pretty skippy, but understanding the deep connection that the uterus plays and how we're born with it for a reason. And then the whole diet, just thinking that we can just switch our diet and then things are going to just happen for us. But it's beyond a diet. It's really understanding our relationship with nourishing our bodies. But again, back stemming into our self-worth and our identity, figuring that out. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that you broke all of that down. The diet and die. I talk about that all the time. And also, the standard American diet spells out sad. And I'm like, they want us to sadly die. Come on, guys. Like, let's pick up on it. They putting it in our face and we not picking up what they catching. I mean, we're not catching what they throwing. So I love that you said that. So we've talked about, generational curses and people saying, oh, my mama had it, my grandmother had it, my aunties, my sisters, this is something that women go through. We're supposed to be in pain. We're supposed to, have cycles longer than 7 or 8 days. We're supposed to bleed heavy. And it's like, no. So, what is the one thing that you know about wound wellness that was not relayed to you as a teenager?
Yeah. I feel what was not relayed to me is the value, the sacredness, the
Mm.
divineness of just having a womb, being a woman, and what happens with our bodies hormonally, and being able to celebrate that, celebrate these changes, celebrate our bodies adjusting to our environment to create space for another human to grow, celebrating, our womb space and what it houses when it comes to um, being able to activate creativity, being, representing the personality of having a uterus, being a nurturer, compassion, caring, exercising our womanly parts. When we do more of that energetically, and when I am now doing more of that, it just makes sense to how much more I'm getting out of life, right? It makes sense to why I appreciate myself, and now I'm on this journey of healing and empowering others to jump on board as well. The difference, the discernment of where I was to where I am now makes sense. And being able to come to Africa on this mission to really speak to the young girls. That's my mission here, is to speak to the young women on how to prepare themselves to be a woman and celebrate their periods, celebrate, their womanly parts, their femininity. And that is something that I was not able to experience as a child, but everything happens for a reason to prepare me to help others, young women, be able to experience that.
Absolutely. The sacredness, you saying that, most people say, oh, I didn't know about chemicals and products. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to take this type of medication. You said the sacredness, which is so beautiful, because I had a podcast guest on, Leslie Mitchell Williams from Moonion, and she mentioned that most people don't realize that the cycle is the first rite of passage for women, and it should be celebrated. And when I see like these girls having these menstruation parties and they're having like slumber parties and they're talking about, I'm like, I would have loved something like that when I was younger, because family was just like, ugh, you're on your cycle. It's still taboo to this day. It's certain people in my family that still turn their nose up like, ugh, I'm on my cycle, or it's so dirty and it's so nasty. And it's like, no, baby, like that is a very powerful moment for women. Like, we can manifest what we want during that time. Like, it's very sacred. And I love that you mentioned that. It's something that I wish more people were privy to. And like you said, it's unfortunate that we might not have had that, but then in divine timing, maybe because it was meant for you to be that person in this lifetime to
Yeah.
spread that type of awareness. I don't have any kids, and I've made the decision I don't think I'm going to have any. But if I were to have a daughter, I would definitely say, girl, we're going to do a menstruation party. Like, mommy's about to get all your little friends together and we're going to figure this out. So I love that. So being that you're into holistic health, and most holistic practitioners that I speak with, we all kind of have regimens or rituals and things that we'll do. So I always like to ask, do you have a regimen or a ritual to prepare for your menstrual cycle? Like, like, hey, my cycle's coming up next month. Is there certain teas? Maybe you take a day to rest, you take your goddess bath. Is there something that you like to do leading up to that moment?
Absolutely. I have a emotional calendar, right? I also
Mm.
have been tracking manually. I don't believe in using apps and things to track my period. I'm able to do that through intuition and just, learning my period personality, where I literally just make my calendar, make my schedule reflect where I'm at in my cycle, where I'm able to optimize the best of me. I'm able to show up better. And that was part of my move to Ghana, is to get into an environment where it allowed me to do more of that. So having these things in place, I'm constantly reminded about how it's going to be a seamless experience once she arrives, once my period arrives, because I'm prepared, I'm inviting it. And I feel energetically that has helped me not deal with pain or, PMS symptoms, having sore nipples, cravings, because energetically I am in preparation, I am in acceptance, and I'm just in a good harmonic state with myself. So that also looks like I kind of changed my eating, where I'm eating more fruits. I may fast the day before or the day after my period starts. I'm wearing more skirts. I'm journaling more, getting out in the sun, kind of moving my hips more. I may take a little break from womb wellness workouts. And even appointments and things, traveling. I try to do that when I'm at the highest point of my cycle, usually follicular. So moving things around to optimize my period has really helped the personality of it heighten. And to this day, I'm always waiting for it to come, because when it comes, I feel like my creativity heightens. I feel better. And I just feel more in touch with myself, versus the opposite in the past, because I was in the state of suffering and lack. But yeah, the preparation is very dynamic, from a calendar to my schedule to even my lifestyle.
I love that. I love that. I think it's so important to have a regimen, and people just don't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So, lastly, are there any remarks or last comments that you would like to share before we close out for the day?
Absolutely. I would love to just really give some empowerment to you, Queen, and let you know that it's not just a fibroid thing. It's more of taking a look at our lives and understanding that we have to get to the root of what is going on. Is it the trauma? Is it the job that you don't like? Is it daddy issues? What has added to the chaos in your body? And watching things that keep you in a space of empowerment, like the Heal documentary, can really showcase how our bodies are really miraculous, and just indulging in just activities that raise your vibrations, right? Doctor says you can't do this, you have to do this. But deep down inside, that's not what you want to do. You have that option, right? But it tackles back into who you believe you are, who's your identity, why are you here, right? Really defining your why for being on this earth. And then it'll help you make better decisions and really move through this experience with finding help that ties into your goal, finding a community, finding a resource that matches where you want to be. And we definitely want to be that for you when it comes to even just surrounding yourself around women that have looked at their lifestyle as the key to living their best life. And once you put that queen energy into your aura, once you start, valuing who you are, it becomes magnetic, and things start coming to you, the help that you need. the resources. So practically, I want to say that fibroids need to be addressed at the root. Treatments can offer some help. Maybe you're in an emergency situation, fibroids are large, and you have to get a surgery. Okay, you got to make the decision that you feel is going to be the best for you, especially if you're in an emergency situation. But at the end of the day, you do have to find a backup to build a foundation so that you're not back in the same situation. And that requires healing. And understanding that we in order to get to a higher state in life, get to the next level, healing has to happen. And that's something that we have to realize. And once you realize that, it just really brightens the quality of life. So.
That was beautifully said. Like you said, once you start tapping into your own power,
Mhm.
that magnetism, it just blossoms and flourishes, and you
Mhm.
just start seeing everything just fall into place. I love that you mentioned that specifically. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with you. Now, navigating to our resource center, we want to give you guys access to all these complimentary resources that we have available for you. We have our blog, book suggestions, our menstrual blood chart, exercise moves to kick cramps ass. We have recipes. We have reports. We have research studies that helps to prove how holistic approaches assist with achieving wound wellness. We have wellness tips, wellness referrals, so business organizations and individuals that we would like to refer to you that are our strategic partners, wound terminology. Maybe there's some wound options that you're not aware of. This can help you out. And lastly, yoga moves to help you kick cramps ass. Feel free to take advantage of this complimentary resource. All right, guys, now back to the show. All right, guys, welcome back from that commercial. We hope that you enjoyed it. Now, we're going to talk about what we have coming up, and I definitely would love for Phyllis to let you guys know, aka the Fibroid Queen, how to connect with her and keep up with everything that she has going on. So, Phyllis, can you let the people know?
Absolutely. So if you are at a place where deep down inside you want to find another way, you've done the surgery, the fibroids have returned, doctors are saying things that don't agree with you, you are looking for a community that speaks your language, you're looking for resources that are going to help get to the root of it, we would like to be that for you. We are a team of practitioners that believe in natural healing, and we're on a journey of healing ourselves, and we want to empower you and lead you down your own. And if that is you, where you're unapologetic about investing in yourself, but not only that, you are really looking to partner with others to help you on this journey, and you understand the law of femininity. We need other women, high vibrational women, like-minded women, to really build this powerful force, and you're ready to receive. Definitely check out Fibroid Queen on pretty much every platform. But next steps is coaching. Coaching is the way to get to the next level when it comes to natural fibroid elimination. We're not taught in school how to eliminate fibroids naturally. It does take others that have been through it, that know it, to really, give you that insight and support to get to that level. So we want to be that for you. At Fibroid Queen, send me a DM. Me or my team will get back to you. Now, you're still in the information gathering stage. You're still learning. You just found out. You're a little distraught. I have an amazing series that is now in its 5th episode that just dropped yesterday. And that is freely on my platform on Instagram, where you can go in and kind of, take note. There's a total of 11 episodes. And it's going to give you just, real unique knowledge that you're not going to see in research, but practical information that's going to help you understand what fibroids are, what type of recipe to just get started with, what to look out for, just really innovative education, everything fibroids, and the mindset. So it's really a eye-opening, pretty much I would say, a mix between a documentary and your favorite Netflix saga, right in between there. And I would encourage you to binge on that, get a friend, another sister to join you to watch these videos because they can be very instrumental in just giving you a place to start when it comes to what to do when it comes to fibroids. And then, yeah, I'm all about just empowering and giving sound knowledge, but keeping it fun, keeping it sophisticated and sexy, so that way, we know how to take what we need, take what's going to move us, right? We're ready to move and take action and invest in our health.
Love, love, love that, guys. And we're definitely going to put her information in the description of this bio. On our end, we're not having any events this month. However, we did have our announcement for the Flex Advisory Board. So if you guys are into Flex, which is a menstrual hygiene product, they have disc and pads and things of that sort. They just started their first advisory board. So we are sitting on their board and we're so excited. So we have new events that we'll be coming up with in July that we will be announcing. And then, if you guys are aware of the Healing Black Women's Organization, they have an award that they give out for multiple categories. We were nominated for three, but we actually won Wellness Professional of the Year, and that was just announced. So we're really excited about that and just helping you guys hone in on more activities. So we will be releasing more events in July and August, but we're going to take a little breather for June because we just have to be able to get our rest, and then we're going to come back and give you guys more online and in-person events. All right, guys. So we want to make sure that we are still accepting listeners' mail. So feel free to comment to this episode. If you would like a more personalized or intimate conversation, feel free to email us at contact@kitkrampsass.org, which we'll include in the description of this episode as well. Be sure to like this podcast, share it with somebody that you feel that can resonate, and feel free to subscribe to our website. When you do so, you get a 15% off coupon that you can use towards your first order on our products or services. And subscribing will also keep you up with the latest news, events, and resources that we have going on. And be sure to also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have additional content that's not on our Instagram or on our podcast. But if there's not anything else, guys, we want to send gratitude to all of you for tuning in on this beautiful Menstruation Monday. And we want to manifest a positive, productive, and peaceful menstrual journey ahead, week, day. Have a great month, guys, and we'll be talking to you next Menstruation Monday. Peace.